Before we continue with this demonstration, I would like to switch back to the debug mode, debug build, where we can utilize all of the facilities of the debug build, and also our current set of topics for this section of the course includes a link to a website with resources from Kip Irvin, and this is his book, Getting Started with MASM and Visual Studio 2019. So this is a great set of resources, and it includes a link here to a set of steps that we can take to make sure that our environment begins to highlight the syntax, the keywords of the assembly programming language. You can see by default the syntax is not really highlighted. So let's try these steps. So if you click on syntax highlighting, the steps are to download usertype.dat, but it actually is downloaded as a zip file because it's a large file, so it's zipped. So I'm just going to download it into one of my directories right here, save it. Okay, so once it's downloaded, we need to unzip the usertype.dat from there. So I already have this directory open, so I'll just use my 7-zip utility to extract here. Okay. Alright, so this is the usertype.dat that we need to copy over to, first of all, let's close Visual Studio as the author recommends right here. We'll just, normally I clean the solution before I exit, and you can close the solution and then exit Visual Studio. So then what we can do is copy this usertype.dat, this file, over to this location. So this is Visual Studio 2019, which I'm running at this point on this machine. So I should be able to find it in like copy and paste, and yes, it's right here. So what I'm about to do is take this usertype.dat. Remember, you need to unzip the file before you copy it. So usertype.dat, copy, and paste it in this folder. And see how it prompts you to confirm that you are copying file into a directory which was created by an official installer of Visual Studio. So for your protection, you're giving this prompt. So we say continue, and we just copied this usertype.dat. So now we can return to Visual Studio, and so let me get this Visual Studio running again. Visual Studio. And I'll just jump back to my recent projects. So week 5 is my current project. And now the next set of instruction is to go to Tools menu, Tools, Options. It prompts to environment, so you need to collapse this and find text editor. So text editor, you can see right here, has a file extension section, and we need to enter ASM as a file that should be recognized by the environment that's specific to Microsoft Visual C++. So whenever we have a Microsoft Visual C++ type of project, we would like to recognize ASM as one of the editor's recognizable file extensions. And now this definition that we just downloaded should become active. So I'm going to click OK. I think that's all I need to do. Just say ASM and Visual Studio C++ in this selection and add, and then click OK. And I think if I reopen this file from this point on, just to go back to View, Solution Explorer, yeah, so now you can see that now it starts to highlight some of the some parts of the syntax. Some of these things are not case sensitive, so if you bring it down to lowercase, it also starts to highlight const. So I think it's kind of nice to have these highlights, because they make the code a little bit easier to deal with, because it's already very tedious the way it is already. So this resource is by Kip Irvin, and this is the link to this resource page. Okay, very good. So I'm just going to save everything, and now we're ready to continue with our assembly language presentation.